man. Appreciate y'all, man, for tapping in. But let's talk. Let's talk. Michael Porter Jr. Man, this is a conversation that it get brought up by some women, and they've been bringing it up way before the social media era. I remember somebody telling me this is females, older females at the time, and they were saying, they was having a debate. Would you rather be your son be, rainbow, reading rainbow, or would you rather him be a hoe, right? And the particular woman said reading rainbow. And I told y'all, man, women like, and this is black women, by the way, black women, it has a funny relationship with homosexuality, right? You got this lavender marriage thing that's going on right now. Check out the Real 101 playlist, music entertainment playlist, by the way. Hit the link tree in the description, join the Patreon. They have this weird infatuation with homosexuality. Like, one, they supported over heterosexual black men, which I just proved in my point right there. And then, when heterosexual black men, they can't, they don't want to talk to them, or they say, I'm married, I got a girl, I'm not interested. Then they use homosexuality slurs as a way to diss them. So I really don't know which side they sit on, but this is like a conversation that comes up amongst women and mixed company with women and men. That's what I mean, mixed company, not Brad and Keisha, or, whatever, you get what I'm saying? Hector and Brad. Just straight up, men and women. This comes up.
I'd rather have a Thot daughter or a gay son. I'm not gonna hold you, bro. Both of them would hurt a nigga heart, though.
Yeah, next question.
I'm not gonna lie, they both, either one.
Chat, Thot daughter or gay son? For me, I'll probably say gay son, because my daughter can't be a Thot. Like, that's crazy, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
You talking about you trying to sleep.
That's crazy, gang.
That's gonna get you.
Chat, what about y'all, though? That's crazy.
You're not lying, but the thing is, like, if you have a gay son, he's probably gonna be gay and he's gonna be a Thot at the same time. Think about it. If you really think about it, bro.
Honestly, because gay niggas have more sex than any nigga, bro. Facts.
I'd rather have a Thot daughter or a gay son.
So these are one of the reasons I did this video. It's funny, right? It's funny. It could be some satire in there, but I've heard people have these conversations. Older people, younger people, mixed company as far as men and women. I've heard these conversations come up, and in different ways. Hey, women that you may date might be like, well, how would you feel if your son was on the spectrum, or was on the rainbow spectrum? And a lot of them, they want to judge your answer. At the end of the day, we see it with Ghostface Killer, we see it with Urban Magic Johnson, and that's a real thing today. And that's why it's so hard for a lot of men to want to have children, because it's like, like, I want to be hands-on, and if she run off with my son and this happens that way, and everything they putting in the food and all these type of things that's going on, that's making guys reconsider having sons. You know what I'm saying? Because the world is pushing the agenda. I mean, really, you can't allow your son to go to school. They getting introduced. You don't even let, most parents don't even let their kids go to a friend's house or a family member house. Had a weird uncle, weird uncle friends or weird auntie friends and stuff of that nature that's happening to kids, that's happened to kids or who are now adults, and it happened when they was kids. So these are real conversations. And ultimately, back in the day, this was, I had a manager who was, bisexual. He was a dude, and he said his parents kicked him out. He had to sleep in a tent on the side of the road when he made his way from Memphis all the way up to the Detroit area. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, having a Thot daughter, I mean, seeing her on Pornhub or OnlyFans, they say 1.4 million women are on OnlyFans in America alone. You know what I'm saying? Her being with one of your friends, that happens. That's why I always tell. I did that video on Free Game 89 about a year ago or a couple years ago. The link's in the description, where I say, watch who you allow to be at your house. Don't let men or other people just into your house so easily, man. And that's a real thing. And I know a lot of people don't really understand that. That dude from that 8 at the Table, Rico, who claims to be this fly player guy, he said your wife ain't even off limits. Think about that. So if your wife ain't off limits, you don't think your daughter off limits? People who think like that, bro. That's why I really never understood dudes who had a circle of friends when you become adults, that every time you get a woman, their whole thing is they want to sleep with the woman that you brought around. That's why I really never understood the train of thought of keeping guys around like that. If I can't trust you around my wife, how can I trust you around my daughter, around my son? You know, a lot of times that's how a lot of people's, you know, children lose their virginity. D-Ray spoke about his mother's friends, you know, taking his virginity when he was young, right? And you know, and it hurt. People laugh, but he's a comedian, but you can see the hurt in his eyes. You know what I mean? So, you know, this affects everybody. A lot of young women lose their virginity due to a family member's friend or due to their parents' friend. It was one woman, I seen a video. I seen a video. It was on Coach Greg Adams' channel. To be honest with you, a couple years ago, he did a video about a woman, and she said she ended up losing her virginity because one of her father's friends paid her, you know, paid her to lick her thing. Paid her. So it started off with money. You know what I'm saying? Paid her. It started off with money. So you got to watch that. You know, that's how dudes really creep up into young women's lives. That's how you got to explain it to these young women, that how dudes creep up or how people creep. Now you got to worry about women creeping up. They creep up with money. They might start off buying you a chicken sandwich, buying you some hot Cheetos. And, you know, you got to understand, young women are in their prime. They in their prime. And they money hungry. They think money is everything. So a lot of these women get strung out. That's why you see a lot of older men go for younger women. Because, you know, instead of a $1,000 bag or paying $2,000-$3,000 in rent, you can buy her, you know, a steak. You can buy her a McDonald's meal, and that's going to be enough. That's going to be enough. You know, so you got to watch who you have around your kids, man, and the influence that they have. You can't even send them to school. You can't even send them to school. You can't even send your kids to school. And they experiencing things at school that you can't never account for, and it affects them. You know, even keeping old like porno flicks around the house, you think you hide them, and the kids know exactly where they at. You know, so this is real conversation that they're having, in my opinion. They joking about it and all that, and neither one is the one that a heterosexual family member or nuclear family member would actually want. We get it. But it's a scary place, and this is a lot of the reason why a lot of dudes is staying away from having children. There's so many variables that you can never control, but there's so many other variables now that can control and influence your children. All these tablets, all these subliminal things on cartoons, all these agendas they pushing on movies and all that. You can possibly be a working woman and a working man, and you can censor all of it. It's hard to censor all of it. Come on, it's hard to censor all of it. And then, you know, the number one thing you can do is you have to date women. And if you're a woman, you have to date men that you want, that align to what you believe in. Attraction just comes so much down the line. You have to date a woman that believes in, or a man that believes in what you believe in. Think about that. You got to date somebody that what you believe, that believe in the same things you do. Religion, finances, you know, not too much politics, but politics. You got to find somebody that believe in what you believe in. Real talk. So, I mean, it is what it is, or it is what it ain't. Let me know what you girls and guys think. Hit the link tree. You can find me everywhere. Join the Patreon. The link tree is the first link in the description. Find me on Patreon, X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, the whole 9. Peace.